I'm going to start off with the fly rod, and right now I'm throwing a Griffith's Gnat from Ramsey Outdoor Store, and it's a little emerger fly, size 18, and you know, the water is really flowing slow right now, and it's really clear, so I'm throwing a little bit smaller presentation to try and catch some of these trout that I have a feeling are going to be a little finicky today. First off, I want to say one of the biggest advantages of fishing with a fly rod is how easy it is to recast that fly back out there. Just with the flick of the wrist, you know, you can see just the flick of the wrist, that fly is back out there in the strike zone and drifting down in that current. When you're fishing with a spinning rod, you're going to have to, you know, grab the line, flip the bail, and cast it out. But with a fly rod, you basically can just flick your wrist and get that fly out into the strike zone. Another important thing that I want to mention about fishing with a fly rod is that your fly line, if you're using a floating fly line, is pretty much just like a, you know, a long floating bobber. When a trout hits that fly, you're going to notice when that line stops or it twitches, and you're going to know right away that you have a bite. Now, another advantage that I'd like to state with fishing with a fly rod is you're going to be using most likely a lot longer rod than if you're fishing with spinning gear, most likely, because most trout rods range from around 5-6 feet long, and you're not going to be most likely walking along a small stream like this or river with a bass fishing rod that's, you know, over 7 feet. So with the extra length from a fly rod, you can cast a little bit further, and as well as you can hold the fly out in the current a little bit further. For instance, say if I'm flipping right up current here, I can hold my rod tip out a little bit and kind of almost pull that fly down current until it gets into the main flow and starts naturally drifting down current. It's all about natural drift that you want when you're fly fishing in order to get a bite. Also, another important thing to note is that, you know, you can really easily let this fly drift down current with a fly rod, because the line floats for the most part, and if you just want to let more line out, you just keep letting it out, and that line's going to naturally drift down current. See how far I let that fly drift down current? I almost let that fly drift 20-30 feet down current. That's a big stretch of water that you're covering, you know, in a big pool like this. Trout back there, busting water. They're probably going to be hitting a lot of dry flies today. Walking upriver to my next spot here on the Wood River. I really couldn't get any reaction or bites from fish downriver where I first started, but you know, I'm going to use those similar techniques to try and catch some fish further upriver where the fish probably haven't been caught. The last time I was here at the Wood River, I was catching a couple out of this big pool here. This is a nice deep pool that usually holds some nice fish. I've got some really big trout here at the end of the pool. I can see them, probably at least 20 inches. But this is another advantage you have here when fishing with the fly rod. You got a nice long wide pool, but I have a lot longer rod than if I was to be fishing with a trout fishing rod with flies. So I can really reach across this entire pool with just the flick of the wrist and put myself in the strike zone. I'm fishing with a small size 18 Hendrickson dry fly right now from Ramsey Outdoor Store. I switched off the small little bead head flashback nymph because I wanted to try something a little different. I wasn't getting too many reactions from that fly, so I'm going to keep switching flies and you know, try and establish a pattern here. I'm fishing this small little Hendrickson dry fly wet because I'm not seeing too much of a topwater bite. Oh, there's a fish. I swear I just had a bite right there. It was a really light bite though. It might have been from a small little brookie. There's native brookies in the Wood River here. There he is. Fish on. Size 18 Hendrickson dry fly is what did it right there. I hope you guys saw the strike. Like I was saying, the fly line is like a bobber. You can see it twitch or you can see it sink down, and then you know you have a nice fish that hit your fly. This is a nice one. Oh, this is a nice fish right here. I'm only using 2-pound Maxima fly line. Oh, fudge. No. There's a lot of sticks along the Wood River. Go figure. There's a lot of wood in the Wood River. This isn't a bad rainbow right here. Not a bad one at all. Oh, gotta get him out of that fast current there. I believe it's a rainbow. I'm using a real small fly, you know, size 18, so it's a real tiny hook. You really can't horse him around. This might be a brown trout. I thought it was a rainbow. It might be a brown. Can't tell yet. He's moving around like crazy, this fish. Oh, it's a nice brownie. Heck yeah, nice brown trout. Okay, let me get my net here. Okay, oh, got him. Nice chunky brown trout. Let's get a good look at him right here. Nice pretty trout right there, guys. Just on the fly. There he is, fish on. They're loving the Hendrickson dry fly, they're loving it. Size 18 from Ramsey Outdoor Store. Okay. I don't know if this is a rainbow or a brown now. Looks like another brown maybe. Nice brownie. I've got the net standing by, and oh, he's going. Oh, this is a nice one. This is a nice brown. This is a nice chunky one. Right in the top of the jaw. Right in the net. There we go. Let's take a closer look at this nice, chunky Wood River brown trout. Oh, perfect hook set right in the top of the jaw. This guy's got some fishing line from someone else. Looks like someone, look at this. He's got about a 5-6 inch section of fishing line. Looks like someone caught him, and looks like someone caught him and he swallowed the hook and they just broke him off, or they cut the line, you know, 5-6 inches up and just threw him back. You know, they should have at least cut this all the way down to his throat. Yeah, there's a hook way down in there, but the only way for me to get the hook that's in his throat out would be to kill him. It's way too deep, but I cut the fishing line out of his mouth, so that should be good. There he goes. There he is, fish on. That one surprised me. Right there. Another brown trout. Basically hooked this one immediately after my second fish. You know, I missed the third one, so this is my fourth bite out of this one pool here, and I just want to land this trout here, and then I'm going to switch over to the spinning rod and try and catch a fish on the spinning rod with the fly. Taking them down river here towards my net. Stay on there, buddy. Got him. It's funny, today I'm catching all browns, no rainbows. I know there's a few rainbows in there because I can see them, but they're not feeding too well. Nice pretty brown trout. Not as pretty as a naturally reproducer, but still a nice fish. Just on that size 18 Hendrickson fly. I might have to use this same fly to catch fish with the spinning rod, but we'll see what happens. Nice pretty brown trout. There he goes. Alright, Fishaholics, so I caught 3 nice brown trout on the fly rod, fishing a size 18 Hendrickson fly. And now I'm going to make up a little scenario and say I'm not a fly fisherman, and I'm at the river here throwing spoons and spinners, but I do have some flies on me, and I notice the trout are starting to feed pretty heavy on the flies. So basically, this is how I would rig up my small little ultralight spinning rod here, or trout rod, to try and catch some trout on the fly. And the rod that I got here is a Berkeley Cherrywood ultralight spinning rod rigged with a Quantum Optics 10 spinning reel spooled with 5-pound test Green Moss Power Pro braid, all from Ramsey Outdoor Store here. And basically what I do is I take the 5-pound test Green Moss Power Pro braid and I tie it directly to a small little barrel swivel, which then I pull off about a 5 to 6 foot section, or pretty much the length of the rod is how I like to measure it, of 2-pound test clear Maxima fishing line, which then I tie directly to the barrel swivel on the other end. And then as well is I mold and attach a small little strike indicator, or bobber, and basically this is going to be used for depth control and as well as a casting implement, so I can cast a little bit further across the river or into the right water column, and as well as it's going to be used as a drifting tool. Just like floating fly line, it's going to be used to pull that fly down current and give the fly the most natural presentation you can get. And then right below that strike indicator, I have a small little split shot, you know, really small, tiny one. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on there. It depends how fast the water current that I'm fishing in is. You know, if I'm fishing in really fast water current, I'm obviously going to put on quite a few split shots to get that fly down there pretty deep. But if I'm not fishing really fast current and I'm fishing a bead head fly, I can just, you know, have the bead head be its own weight and carry that fly down to the right section of the water column where those trout are going to be looking to feed. And then I have my fly tied directly below that split shot, and right now I have on a small size 18 bead head flashback nymph. And I'm going to head upriver now and give this rig a shot, and you know, give you a few tips along the way, and let's catch some more fish. All right, well, this looks like a pretty decent pool here. There's probably going to be some fish in here, nice and deep. You know, there's fast moving current, there's slow moving current. Got to make sure my drag is nice and loose because I'm only using 2-pound test. And I'm going to flip this little rig out there. See with that bobber I can cast a little bit further into the river. Right now I'm fishing a small little bead head flashback with, oh, that might have been a fish already. Might have had a bite just then and there. Could have just been on the bottom. How I basically fish this when I'm fishing with a spinning rod, basically obviously just cast it up current and slowly drift it down through the current here, and then as it goes downriver I open my bail to let it naturally drift downriver. There he is, fish on the spinning rod. Oh, he got off. Oh, he got off. That was a fish though. Alright guys, I'm going to leave this pool here that I just lost that fish on the spinning rod here, because I've pretty much been fishing this pool, you know, throughout the entire day, and it's pretty much the same pool that I've caught all my fish out of so far today. So I have a few more different spots downriver that I think will be holding some fish right now, and they're going to be hungry, so I'm going to go downriver a little bit and give that a shot. So let's do that. Alright guys, so I'm downriver here from where I was originally catching fish, and I'm actually at the same pool where I started the day. And yeah, there's a lot of fish still in this pool here, and they look a little bit more active now that it's getting towards the end of the day. I can see quite a few fish feeding, and hopefully I can get them to eat this this dry fly that I'm throwing right now, this size 18 Hendrickson. Fish on. I switched over to the bead head flashback in order to get a bite. Oh no, it's a crazy rainbow. Crazy rainbow. Finally got a rainbow today. I didn't get him yet. Okay. Nice one. There we go. Just basically drifting a bead head flashback on my little ultralight spinning rod here. I drifted it at least 15-20 feet past this tree right here and connected with this nice rainbow. It seems like the rainbow trout on the Wood River here like the bead head flashback, and the brown trout are feeding on the dry flies right now. Oh, this guy, the fly just popped out. Nice pretty fish. Wow, this fish has a wound on it. This is the second fish that I've caught out of the Wood River, the second rainbow trout that has had a wound on it like this. I've never seen anything like this. It looks like a bruise of some sort, maybe from rubbing on the trout stocking walls or something, or you know, maybe from the tanks, you know, the tanks that they stock the fish with. That doesn't look like a very comfortable mark there though. Let this nice rainbow get some of her energy back. When you're using light line, like 2-pound test, the fight usually lasts a lot longer, so these trout, you know, use up a lot more energy. So you got to make sure you revive them nice and easy. Give them plenty of time to get their strength back. Alright, Fishaholics, thanks for watching. I'm going to call it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me catch some trout today on the fly rod and on the spinning rod using flies. And the two major player flies for the day were the size 18 bead head flashback nymph, and the really big major player that caught the most fish today was the size 18 Hendrickson's dry fly. And there was a really good mayfly hatch going on today, and that's why they were probably keying in on that Hendrickson's dry fly, even though I was fishing it wet. But anyways, I hope this video encourages you to get out there and get into fly fishing, or it encourages you to at least purchase some flies and have them in your tackle arsenal, so even when you're out there with a spinning rod and you notice that the trout are feeding on flies, that you have the opportunity to drift a few flies and, you know, catch a few more fish. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you have any more questions, just post a comment in the comment section below, or look in the description below to find any more information about how I filmed this video and the tackle that I was using this video to catch fish. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you out on the water, and never forget, live to fish, fish to live. Tight lines, guys.